This keyboard. I tweeted about this last year as a wish. Fast forward to today, my keyboard broke down and now we're doing an unboxing and something of a review. Up to now, I still don't know how to pronounce this brand's name. Let's get to it. The retro mechanical keyboard is aptly named mainly due to its aesthetics. It has two versions, the N and the Family editions, designed after the NES and Famicom consoles respectively. We personally had the Famicom, which we always call the family computer. Psh, Famicom. Anyway, you've probably already browsed their site, so let's just skip this. Ah, the box, with all the creases and the damage during shipping. How do you... Oh, so you lift it. There we go. Wow, I'll say. The box has a premium feel to it. But that word is relative because premium to me might not be premium to you. Oh, okay, so the padding isn't one whole piece. Easier to unbox this thing without destroying it. Let's put this aside and take a look at the other contents. Ooh, what's this? Stickers! And I think this is a guide for the super cool buttons. The plastic doesn't tear too easily, which might or might not be a good thing depending on who you're talking to. Let's save the earth! Now let's actually take a look at the other items in the box. They call this the super buttons. It's super awkward to use a singular pronoun for this when it's called buttons, so let's use they, them. Here's the USB-C cable, nothing special. Oh, here's the manual. I wonder how many actually read this. What's this? Looks important. I gotta say, I really love the look and feel of this keyboard. Here we have the knobs. This one is actually a switch. Switch here to use the 2.4 GHz dongle, and here to use this as a Bluetooth device. Also switch to off to force it to use the cable, because we can have this connected with both the cable and the dongle at the same time, and just switch modes freely. The volume knob has steps. It's not smooth, it does these little clicks so you can tell without looking that you're actually changing the volume. Also, this knob is a continuous one, which, given the way it works, is a good thing. It doesn't have ends like a max and min. Here we have the buttons. This one that looks like a Wi-Fi button is for syncing the 2.4 GHz dongle and Bluetooth. The star button is for programming the super buttons, and this pixelated heart thing is for switching user profiles. We'll get back to both of them later. Here we have the LED indicators. I kinda like it that the power LED tells us when it's, well, on, but how it looks is a plus if you're into retro stuff. Caps lock, nothing special. Scroll lock, I don't even know anybody who uses this. Oh, and num lock? I was initially looking for it, but then remembered that this thing doesn't have a numpad. Let's take a look at the back of this keyboard. Material feels really nice. This is the 2.4 GHz dongle. Oh yeah, and it's magnetic too, so it snaps off and back into place. It's similar to other 8BitDo dongles which have this Mario-style brick design. Speaking of which, I just wanted to show you quickly how similar this keyboard's design is to 8BitDo's arcade stick. Here at the back panel, we have a flip cover cabinet thing for its dongle. See? Exactly the same design. This one isn't magnetic though. Same knobs, except this one is for controllery functions. Same button icons, kinda different functions. Now back to the keyboard. This is the USB-C port. As you can see, USB-C. And for reasons, I'm gonna reuse my arcade stick's USB-C cable, complete with love bites from a rat. Oh, and totally unrelated, and I don't know what for, here's my 8BitDo N30 Pro 2 gamepad. Now let's talk about the 8BitDo Ultimate Software V2. Go to their website, link below, download for Windows, save somewhere. Sorry, mac and cheese, no software for you. Extract it somewhere. Oh sheesh, Windows 11. Launch the, where is it? Oh, here. And here's a 10-minute tutorial on how to connect a USB-C cable. Kidding aside, thank God for USB-C. We don't need to fumble around while not connecting our cables anymore. So there. If you noticed, the software threw an error when I connected the keyboard while the 8BitDo Ultimate software is already open. So after closing the software, I connect this keyboard, after which I launch the software. There. Ooh, an update. Never could resist these things. So apparently you can specify what update you want to download. So what's new? Fix the abnormal. Added the configuration support for F13 to F24? How about the previous ones? What did they do? Heck yeah, more keys or something. Downloading this update now. So as you can see, the progress bar is embedded into the indicator in the user interface. I think this is a nice touch. By the way, I assume this image is here because the dongle has a separate firmware for it. Alright, update complete. Now what? Do I restart this software? So how do we update the dongle if we need to connect this with a cable? Okay, so I removed the cable, but it's requiring me to have the cable connected to do anything. By the way, I have the dongle connected to my USB port as well, so why? Okay, so I'm restarting the software. There we go. In this mode, I have both the cable and the dongle connected to the USB ports. Now we can check the updates. And finally update the dongle. Now about profiles, let's start by creating one. You can disable the Windows key, the Alt Tab, and the Alt F4 combinations per profile. You can also remap keys to whatever you want. Be careful with this if you live in a dorm or something. People control you into messing up your keyboard's functions. Imagine none of the letters working the way they're supposed to. Wow, what a perception on humanity, eh? Let's go to macros. You can also reprogram macros into individual keys. Another profile name. This is triggering my indecisiveness. Only supports numbers and letters. Alright. Super A. Sheesh. There we go. Start recording, Control Alt Shift A, stop recording, save. Oh, also we can set the macro to execute one time, repeat forever, or a set number of times. And now we get to the main star of the show, the super buttons. I really have to go ahead and say that these buttons are extra, ultra, mega clicky. My 5-year-old keeps on coming back to these things like those YouTube videos where she also says, "Oh my gosh, this is so satisfying." To be honest, I find it even more ASMR than my arcade stick. Anyway, these super buttons have a 3.5mm jack, same as earphone jacks. Let me show you the ports. There are 4. Honestly, I think they're already overusing the ABXY theme. They could have used 1, 2, 3, 4, but I guess it's still cool they went for "I see what you did there." And oh yeah, it's so cool that you can have buy up to 3 other super buttons and program each of them separately. Here's a quick guide for programming the super buttons. It says to press the star button for half a second, then hold, but I think they meant press the shortcut keys, then press the super button. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's see, press and hold a bit, then Control C, then press B but super button. Press the star button again, Control V, then press the A super button. Now we test on Notepad. Hello. Select all, copy, paste, paste. Lovely. Oh, by the way, see these B and A buttons on the keyboard? They're also super buttons. These replace the right Windows key and the context menu key. I honestly think it's not much of a loss since I don't think there's anybody who uses them anyway. Let's create another setup. Press the start button, Windows 2, and assign it to B. Testing. Oh, by the way, my Windows 2 combination launches Microsoft Edge. Again, the start button, Alt Tab, and assign it to A. There. So by default, we already have 2 pairs of super buttons. Imagine if you had 3 more of these. Honestly, I've wanted these super buttons when I saw this last year to make kind of a huge stream deck. Before I got this keyboard, I used my arcade stick to act as my stream deck. I made a video about it last year, so please check it out here if you also have an arcade stick or any gamepad. One last thing about the software is the volume knob setting. You can set the increment of the change in volume. On my computer, 1 point in the software is worth 2 volume points. Take a look at my volume meter below. The good thing about all these customizations through the software is that the settings are retained even if you don't have the software open. Oh, and before we go, see all these Japanese characters on the keyboard? This is called hiragana, and it's simply kind of like a print over of the Japanese layout, and only available for the Famicom edition. Regardless of this, you can simply switch languages on your OS. Konnichiwa. Simple and easy. Nah. Actually, it took me around 15 minutes of practice to be able to type that flawlessly and relatively quickly. Here's my actual typing speed trying to type arigato. So while I'm typing away, thank you so much for watching this thing. I don't really do these review videos, but I make tutorials on stream content and programming, so please give them a try. Arigatou gozaimasu.